Good day, grade 12 learners. Welcome to today's tourism lesson. My name is Evans Maponya. This lesson is brought to you by the Gauteng Department of Education in collaboration with Saibono Discovery Center. Grade 12 learners, today's topic is marketing South Africa internationally, or marketing South Africa as a destination of choice. We have looked into this topic earlier in the year, but because this topic is not well attempted by learners in the past formal tasks that we have had this year and some previous years, it is deemed fit for us to just revise this topic in this platform. Here are the objectives of the lesson. By the end of the lesson, you grade 12 learners must ensure that you master the following: the importance of marketing South Africa internationally, the core business of South African tourism, opportunities for marketing South Africa internationally, South African tourism role in marketing South Africa, funding for South African tourism international marketing initiatives, the South African brand logo, as well as introduction to Africa's travel endeavor. These are critical aspects of this discussion that you have to acquaint yourself with as much as possibly as you can. The topic is assessed in section C, that is your question 6, and you'll also get some questions on marketing South Africa internationally in section A, which is your question 1. So question 1, it's short questions only, and that's where you'll find a couple of questions based on marketing South Africa. We are referred to only the final examination because we have went past all the other formal tasks of the year, and only the final examination remains, and it will be written on the 14th of November, an afternoon session. Now let's look at those critical aspects of this discussion, starting with the importance of marketing South Africa internationally. The first point that you have to internalize is that marketing South Africa internationally will result in an increase in annual volume of foreign arrivals to South Africa. So South Africa will receive many foreign tourists. So here is a bit of a stats that was taken from 2019. Tourist
attitude of gratitude. What does that mean? An attitude of gratitude is the quality of being thankful. It's the quality of giving thanks. Ubonga, ulebuha. It's to be grateful. You and I have so much to be grateful for. You and I have parents who make sacrifices day and night for us to be at school. You and I have people who believe in us when we don't believe in ourselves, who love us when we don't love ourselves, who invest in us day and time again. Whether it's a teacher, it's a principal, it's a driver, it's a guardian, we have so much to be grateful for. And so I challenge you, young person, be thankful, ubonge, lebuha, be grateful each and every single day of your life. Strive to display an attitude of gratitude.
All right, welcome back. I would like to apologize for a technical glitch that we had. It has since been resolved. So let's continue. We're still on the importance of marketing South Africa internationally, which we said it will result in an increase in annual volume of foreign arrivals to South Africa. And then we have an extract information from the stats that was collected in 2019, where the foreign tourist arrival in South Africa accounted for 10.22 million, according to Statistics South Africa, compared to 10.47 million arrivals that was experienced in 2018. If foreign tourists visit our country, they spend their money on tourism products, then increase the revenue. The revenue refers to the money, the economy, you may so say, which will increase in the gross domestic product of South Africa. Let's move on. The importance of marketing South Africa internationally as we proceed. It creates more jobs, and people will earn salaries and other social welfare projects. Social welfare projects, we are referring to all the benefits, all the facilities that the government will provide after receiving this revenue coming from foreign arrival. It will also lead to greater prosperity for all South Africans. So all people in the country will be rich, their standard of living will improve. Therefore, we can conclude that marketing is very important to attract more tourists into our country. Hence, we are compelled to study this topic. The estimated tourist contribution to South African economy, it's about 9.2% of the total employment in the country. So 1.5 million jobs results from tourism activities, from foreign arrivals. The second point is that an increase in international awareness of South Africa as a travel destination will increase the number of international tourists to visit South Africa. Marketing must be done through different platforms, for example, through media, through the internet, and other platforms to make tourists aware of what the country has to offer as a tourist destination. The other way of increasing awareness is through national and international tourism exhibition shows. We'll discuss these aspects in details as we proceed with our lesson. To increase the number of foreign arrivals in South Africa, the country must be marketed so that people know about it. So we must expose what we have to offer to the world. Target markets that show potential. Obviously, the market that show potentials are international communities, because when you go about comparing the rand to the dollar, the rand to the pound, so they seem more to afford what we have to offer than focusing on the local market. Hosting a global event in South Africa can assist in making tourists aware of South Africa as a desirable destination. So hosting international communities or hosting international events has a potential of bringing tourists into the country because the event will be the primary activity of their visit. But whilst attending such an event, they are likely to visit other secondary attractions that the country has to offer. For instance, in the coast, there are very good beaches, the oceans that surround South Africa has to offer. Other than that, inland, there are so many activities where you would have the Kruger National Park, provinces like KwaZulu-Natal, the beauty around the Drakensberg Mountain. So there are a lot of tourist activities that can benefit out of international hosting and international events. Benefits of marketing South Africa as we proceed is that it will boost the revenue of the economy. And when we talk about benefits, we are referring to the advantages of marketing South Africa. It creates thousands of jobs, develops the infrastructure of the country, plants a sense of cultural exchange between foreigners and citizens. That cross-cultural relations, we get to learn other people's culture and they also learn our domestic culture. The core business of SA tourism, that is South African tourism, what is it? It is the national agency or the national organization responsible for marketing South Africa as a destination of choice, both internationally and domestically. So it is a body that is given all the powers to sell South Africa both abroad and locally. The core business, here are some aspects of the core business of South African tourism. Marketing South African tourism internationally will result, the core business will be marketing South Africa internationally as a tourism destination of choice, maintaining and enhancing the standard of facilities and service for tourists, coordinating the marketing activities of role players in the industry, tourist information centers in all big potential countries, and all the information can be accessed on its website, which is www.southafrica.net. Also, one of the core business is to host international events. Opportunities for marketing South Africa internationally. There are certain platforms that South Africa has a stand and they exhibit all the products on offer, all tourism products that South Africa has to offer. The first major event where South Africa is allowed a platform to participate is the ITB, which stands for International Tourist Trade Show, that is hosted in Berlin. And also, South Africa is allowed a platform to showcase its tourism products at the WTM, which is World Travel Market. This is hosted annually in London. So the last weekend, remember, was hosted from the 7th to the 9th of November in 2022. ITB Berlin. This is the world's largest trade show or fair. It takes place annually in March at Messe, Berlin. 10,000 exhibitors from more than 180 countries and regions participate in this convention. A convention is a big meeting from representatives of different countries. So in this case, it will be SA Tourism representing South Africa. Tourism marketers, tour operators, booking organization, hotels, airlines, car rental companies, tourist boards, and system providers meet to attend the ITB and market their countries as a tourist destination. It provides for a unique opportunity to learn about different countries and regions all over the globe in one place. So the world tourism offerings are brought under one roof. South Africa also partakes and has a stand in the convention. In that stand, that's where they sell all the tourism products in the country internationally. This is the logo and the slogan for the ITB Berlin. The World Travel Market in London takes place annually in November in London. So it provides an opportunity for 5,000 exhibitors to showcase destination products and services, and over 30,000 visitors are expected during that event. It enables the growth and development of the global travel industry. That is one of its primary aims. This is an opportunity for global tourism to get together, network, discuss, and perform business at one place, and to therefore attract key customers to the exhibition. Funding for South African tourism in its mission to market South Africa internationally. There is a body called TOMSA. TOMSA is a private sector initiative created to raise additional funds for marketing South Africa internationally. Tourism business, for example, accommodation, car rental, tour operators, and travel agents collect a voluntary 1% levy. This levy is known as TOMSA. The 1% is referred to as TOMSA. This is collected from international tourists making bookings for accommodation, car rental, as well using the services of tour operators and travel agents. The business pay the levies to Tourism Business Council of South Africa, which is TBCSA. This is an organization that collects the 1% levy that we have attributed to. The TBCSA is an administrator of this TOMSA. This is the 1% that we referred to. And TOMSA in full stands for Tourism Marketing South Africa. That is the 1% levy. So TOMSA is not an organization, but it's the name given to the 1% levy collected from accommodation, car rental, and all the bookings in businesses that offer tourism products. Funding for South Africa as we move on. The TBCSA makes the fund available to South Africa Tourism. So after collecting the 1% levy, the TOMSA, TBCSA, which is the administrator, makes the fund available for SA Tourism. SA Tourism uses the funds to market South Africa, both domestically and internationally. I'm sure you understand the flow of revenue from the tourist who would contribute, who would be charged an extra 1%, which is called TOMSA. TOMSA is collected by TBCSA, and the TBSA availed the collected funds for SA Tourism, which SA Tourism uses to market South Africa, both locally and internationally. Funding for SA Tourism internationally. We derive funding for marketing initiative from leisure activities as well as corporate travelers by and large. The funding for TOMSA, for tourism internationally, TOMSA, that is the 1% levy, charge for tourist visitors for their use of various travel and tourism services in South Africa. We have already alluded to this one. Funding for South Africa Tourism internationally. This is the split. The pie graph here demonstrates the contribution, which businesses, which tourism activities provides a larger share of the TOMSA. So you've got them distributed here, and as you can see, the large percentage is derived from accommodation sector, and it's followed by the car hire, and the rest also contribute towards the TOMSA, towards the 1% levy. But it's of importance to note that accommodation is the largest contributor of the 1%. Funding for South Africa Tourism internationally, marketing initiative. As we further elucidate on it, this is the starting point. Here is an international tourist. Tourism businesses such as accommodation, tour operators, car rental, attractions will operate here. And then you'll have TBCSA, which is our collecting organization of the TOMSA, and it passes all the collection to SA Tourism. Tourism then will use the funds for marketing activities and collaborative fund projects. So this is just a summary of funding for SA Tourism to market South Africa internationally. Here is another diagram showing the flow of revenue from the tourist up until it reaches SA Tourism. So you have your tourist here in the picture, and here is an illustration of accommodation sector and the car rental, which are closely related. And these businesses in the tourism industry will pay a 1% TOMSA levy for the room and rental rate. And this, as it flows, hotel pays the levy directly to TOMSA, which is that 1%. And this is collected by TBSA, and TBSA will provide or will pass on whatever collection, a percentage of their collection, to South African tourism, and South African tourism uses the funds for marketing, for maintaining, and coordinating activities in the tourism industry. The concept branding South Africa or South Africa's brand logo. A brand name, a brand, it's actually a name, a slogan or a symbol or contribution of this that identifies the offering of a business or destination to make it stand out from other competitors. So a brand, it's either a name, a slogan, or a symbol that separates one business from other businesses. It is a distinctive brand image that can make business easily recognizable and convey specific message to customers. The concept branding helps create a positive as well as a unified image of South Africa, a brand that is built on pride, a recognizable brand to promote South Africa on an international platform. It enables South Africa to function as a competitive destination in the global arena, a strong brand position of our country as an attractive destination partner for trade and investment. The concept branding, as we move on, in the case of South Africa, this is South Africa's brand logo. So for marketing purposes of tourism offerings in the country, SA Tourism uses this logo. And as you can see, the slogan is inspiring new ways. So a recognizable global inspire positive thoughts and feelings about the country and will convince people to travel to South Africa. It also showcases South Africa's success and motivates investors' confidence. Inspiring new ways, it's a current slogan in the brand logo for South African tourism and brand South Africa. So brandsouthafrican.com is an organization tasked with promotion of South Africa as a brand. Brand South Africa's role is to create a positive, unified image of South Africa, one that is built on pride. Opportunities to promote South Africa and the South African region, that is the SADC, to the world. There are two major events aimed at promoting South Africa as a destination of choice, and it also extends towards promoting the entire SADC region. Two major events are the Africa Travel Indaba, as indicated in the picture here, how it looks like. So it's one of the platforms where South Africa can be showcased to the rest of the world, and not only South Africa, but the entire SADC region. Another opportunity, the second one, is Gateway Show, which is hosted either in Cape Town or Johannesburg. Also performs the same function of marketing South Africa and the SADC region. Africa's Travel Indaba is hosted in Durban, and it is also known as the Tourism Indaba, as alluded to in the slide. The Durban International Convention Center, the IECC, and the Durban Exhibition Center, the DEC, are in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. These are the largest tourism marketing events on the African calendar, owned by South African Tourism and organized by a synergy of business events, PTY Ltd. Inbound tour operators, foreign travel agents, airline, online booking companies, and transport are given an opportunity to participate in this Africa Travel Indaba, which is hosted in Durban. The Cape Town Gateway Show is the Western Cape's largest travel, outdoor, and adventure event. It is held in Cape Town, Stellenbosch, annually in March. It attracts 110 exhibitors and 5,100 visitors. That happens in March in Cape Town, Stellenbosch. Now, let us reflect on the practice now. I had to quickly go through that to allow more opportunity for us to have practice on the activities, because in essence, you are going to be confronted with scenarios of this kind come the 14th of November, afternoon session, where you'll be writing your final examination. Now, let's look at activity 1. Please bear in mind that you'll come across questions on marketing South Africa as a destination of choice in question 6 of your question paper, and that is your section C. It says, activity 1, study the information and the online page below to answer the questions that follow. It is entitled New Google Arts and Culture App Online Page. So I'll quickly read through the information inside. It says Google Arts and Culture and SA Tourism launched the online exhibition South Africa, an explorer's paradise, in February 2021. Visitors from all over the world can explore South Africa virtually through a collection of 500 images and videos, 55 street views, and 20 digital stories. The online exhibition is the first phase of celebrating South Africa's diverse people, its rich cultural heritage, and its breathtaking landscape. Google and Arts Culture. As you can see, this is South African brand logo, inspiring new ways. South Africa is referred to as an explorer's paradise. Part 1 of the journey to the breathtaking views of thrilling nature of South Africa. This was or came about during the COVID era, where people can log on and explore South Africa on a social platform. Here are your questions and answers. 6.1, it says identify the organization responsible for reigniting the local tourism industry through innovative marketing of South Africa as an international destination of choice. So here is your answer. The organization responsible for reigniting the local tourism industry and marketing South Africa as a destination of choice is none other than the South African Tourism, or SA Tourism, both acceptable for 2 marks. And you don't write SAT because it is not acceptable. You will not be given the 2 marks. Explain 2 ways in 6.2. Explain 2 ways in which the online exhibition will fulfill the core function of coordinating marketing activities. The first point in answering the question would be partnership with industry role players, unify the advertising efforts. So combined efforts from all the role players make one product or use one platform to advertise the country. So another aspect is that media such as Google Art and Culture assist in exposing what South Africa has to offer to domestic and international markets. It also goes on to include the use of inspiring new ways, that is the brand logo. So upon seeing the brand logo, people already associate South Africa with its tourism offering. So inspiring new ways logo provides brand identity to attract more tourists to a recognized destination. So the brand logo itself, inspiring new ways, help us to further market South Africa internationally. We can also go on further to explain that bringing together various images, video, street views, and stories show South Africa's diversity in culture and scenery to the rest of the world. Also, using an online platform connects SA tourism's marketing efforts to virtual reality and the global digital world. It is advantageous to use it because it is cost effective. So very minimal funds are used for this platform to market South Africa, both domestically and internationally. Those are your responses to activity number 1. So remember, these activities are derived from past papers, and don't be surprised to see a repetition of some numbers because it represents a particular question paper in a particular year. 6.3, it says identify one branding strategy on the online page. 6.4 says branding and online marketing are expensive. Discuss one way in which the organization identified in question 6.1 received private sector funding. So let's look at 6.3. Identify one branding strategy on the online page above. I'm sure you still have a collection of what the page is all about. But I've read through it. It had a brand logo of South Africa and a few other readings. So in responding to 6.3, one would say South Africa's brand logo, or you may say inspiring new ways, sharing Google Arts and Culture branding, South Africa, and Explorers Paradise. So all indicated in that online page, the key aspects forms the part of the answer to mention but a few. 6.4, branding and online marketing are expensive. So you are asked to discuss one way. So 6.4 would say TBCSA pays money collected from the levy contributors quarterly to South African tourism. 1% TOMSA levy is collected by participating tourism business from tourists. That is another acceptable answer for question 6.4. Activity 2, Africa's Travel Indaba 2022. Africa Stories, your success. Tell your story at Africa's biggest travel trade show, 3 to 5 May in 2022 in Durban, ICC. 2 May 2022, Born Day. So this is an advert trying to invite people to the Africa's Travel Indaba. Remember, in our theory, we discussed that it is held annually in Durban. So, and one of the venues is indicated here and another one here. So the first one is the Durban International Convention Center, and from the 2nd May, it's held at Bondi. So this is in short the analysis of this portrayal here, and let's look at the question. Give the definition of a travel trade show. So in responding to that, one would say it is an event where tourism-related businesses are given an opportunity to exhibit and promote their products and services. Or one can define travel trade show as an event where the major role players in the tourism industry can network in order to establish new business relationships. An event where buyers, such as tour operators, can negotiate business deals with exhibitors. So you were just asked to define here, and any of the 3 responses given would be marked correct out of 2. Activity number 2, SA Tourism uses Africa's Travel Indaba to market South Africa nationally and internationally. Now you are asked to name one other travel trade show held in South Africa, and it is none other than the Gateway Show, which is held in Stellenbosch, Cape Town, as well as in Johannesburg. There is also other examples such as Meeting South Africa, which is also held in Johannesburg and Cape Town, Africa's Travel Indaba in KwaZulu-Natal, as well as the World Travel Market that is hosted in Cape Town. So these are other examples of travel trade shows held in South Africa to promote both South Africa and the SADC region. 6.3, explain 3 steps on how the 1% levy collected from tourism businesses is used to market South Africa. Right, we have alluded to this one during the theory part, where we have indicated that step 1, the participating tourism businesses collect the 1% levy from tourists. So they will, in their code, add 1% of levy, knowing fully enough that it will be collected or it will be set aside as TOMSA, which is Tourism Marketing South Africa. Step 2, this money is paid to TOMSA on a monthly basis, who then make it available to Tourism Business Council of South Africa. So TOMSA is collected on monthly basis and made available to Tourism Business Council of South Africa. And step 3, Tourism Business Council of South Africa is an administrator of TOMSA of the fund, then pays the money to SA Tourism, and then you collect your 6. So here the question asks you to explain 3 steps. So meaning that in your explanation, the action verbs demands of you to write full sentences, because here you are explaining a process. You are trying to put the perspective from which TOMSA is collected in the country and how it is utilized by SA tourism. As we move further afield, here is another activity. Says, refer to an example of an accommodation invoice below and answer the question that follow. So as you can see here, there is a question mark indicated. Here is the charge for accommodation. The tourist has been charged 1,000 rand, but there is an extra 10 rand here which is not accounted for. So the subtotal here is given as 1,010, and if we add other charges such as the VAT, the total goes as far as 1,161 rand. So this is an example of an invoice. Also comes from one of the past papers, and our focus here is the question mark. So as you can see, there is a 10 rand, which is a question mark, and already you can sense the type of question that will be asked, that it will be associated with the 10 rand, I guess. So let's look at the questions. The 6.1, Mr. Brent queried or asked about the amount of 10 rand added to his accommodation in invoice. Explain to Mr. Brent the reason for additional 10 rand on his invoice. We'll come back to it. Let's read the rest of the question. The receptionist informed Mr. Brand that the money is not used by the hotel, but it is given to SA Tourism. Explain to Mr. Brand the 3 processes followed to get the money to SA Tourism. 6.3, it says, explain how money collected from guests like Mr. Brand will be used to support each of the following 3 core functions of SA Tourism. Marketing South Africa internationally as a tourism destination of choice, that is your 6.3.1. 6.3.2, maintaining and enhancing the standard of facilities and services for tourists, and coordinating the marketing activities of role players in the industry. Let us examine the answers. 6.1, it is a 1% TOMSA tourism levy charged by some accommodation establishment. So this question refers to the 10 rand that was charged, the extra 10 rand with question marks. So it is the levy. So as you can use your skills from maths or maths lit, of percentage wise, 1% of 1,000 is 10 rand, and it's charged by accommodation and it's not accounted for. And now we are trying to the hotel employee is trying to explain to Mr. Brandt what is this 10 rand used for. So it is the money charged by accommodation, and this 1% is known as TOMSA. The 6.2, 1% TOMSA or tourism levy collected from the hotel guest The hotels pays the money collected to TBCSA on monthly basis. TBCSA makes the collected funds available to SA tourism on a quarterly basis. A quarterly basis refers to a period of 3 months. So it means TBCSA avails this fund 4 times in a year. SA Tourism uses the funds to market South Africa both internationally and domestically. And that answers 6.2. 6.3, it's 6.3.1. The money spent on promotional material to be used at an international travel show. We are trying to account for the use of the TOMSA levy by SA Tourism. The fund are utilized to book an exhibit at an international trade show such as ITB and WTM. SA Tourism negotiates more flights and routes with various stakeholders to increase inbound foreign arrivals to South Africa. They embark on various strategies to find opportunities to brand South Africa. And lastly, support tourism businesses. 6.32, the partnerships are formed with tourism industry stakeholders to monitor the standard of facilities and services on offer. So it's how the money used for collaboration partnerships by SA Tourism. And secondly, the partnership ensures solutions are found towards maintaining and enhancing facilities and services. There is a footnote that says examples of how tourism industry stakeholders contribute to maintaining standard facilities are also acceptable. So it is used to build roads that lead to a particular attractions. It's used for renovations. All those are acceptable examples that you can relate in as far as this question is concerned. 6.3.3, the utilization of funds towards branding. It says branded materials to strengthen awareness of South Africa as a destination of choice. Also creating a coordinated branding image for destination South Africa. Liaising or negotiating with provincial tourism authorities to market their provinces. Creating platforms such as Africa's Travel Indaba in Durban, other marketing events for networking and strengthening the brand of South Africa. Grade 12s, we have been talking for a while now. Can we take at least a 3 minutes break just to grab a bottle of water and to dash to the loo and come back after 3 minutes, and then we will continue with the practical aspect of marketing South Africa as a destination of choice. Welcome back. I hope you have refreshed grade 12, and let's further the move. Another example of question 6 of Market in South Africa. Um, you are given the extract from one of the question paper, and if you might be aware, what is repeated throughout the question is this brand logo. There is Tomsa. So these two are being featured in almost all the questions that we have looked into. So make it a point as you revise, you collect every information regarding the two. So don't get into that exam rooms doubting what this stands for. So what is left out here is the slogan, inspiring new ways. It's not here on the brand logo. Now, these are some of the things that you need to analyze before you can even read the question paper. So let's go to the question. Let's go to the instruction. Study the web page of South African tourism below and answer the questions that follow. So I've already went through given you some ideas around the brand logo and the tops. Let me quickly read for you. September is a tourism month. I do tourism. And remember this picture as well. So you'd associate it with tourism activities in the country. It says, there is an expression that says, Happy World Tourism Day. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Do tourism. Tom Salebi contributors. Advertise your tourism month deals with us. Click here to find out how you can promote your business for free. So SA Tourism have derived this or have devised a web page where tourism businesses, not only tourism businesses, but those who contributes the 1% levy to TBSA are allowed access to market their product, to promote their product under the banner of SA tourism. And they will use this brand logo and all other symbols in their advertisement of their accommodation, car rental, and all business that contribute the TOMSA levy. Give the name of the organization responsible for collecting the tourism levy for 1 mark. I'm sure you know the organization, but we'll look into it together. 6.2, identify from whom certain accommodation establishment collect the 1% tourism levy, also for 1 mark. Only certain tourism businesses collect the 1% tourism levy, and this is done on a voluntary basis by tourism businesses. Discuss 2 reasons why this practice should be changed so that it is compulsory for all tourism businesses to collect the 1% tourism levy. So you are to discuss 2 reasons. You are going to give reasons. You are going to present an argument as to why all businesses that are offering tourism products must pay the 1% levy or the TOMSA. 6.4, it has 6.4.1 and 6.4.2. Refer to the web page and identify one way in which South African tourism supports businesses who contribute to the 1% levy. 6.4.2, it says, explain 2 reasons why businesses who contribute to the 1% tourism levy should take advantage of support referred to question 6.4.1. For 4 marks, you are explaining 2 reasons. It means the allocation there is 2 marks per reason, per argument that you present. 6.5, the campaign I Do Tourism was launched at the Tourism Indaba in 2017. I Do Tourism. Suggest one way in which this campaign encourages you as a tourism learner to become part of tourism in South. Let's look at the answers. The total for the question was 14 marks. So the 1% levy is referred to as TOMSA. 6.2, the contributors of the TOMSA are the tourist, not the accommodation. So the accommodation will charge tourist 1%. So the TOMSA is paid basically by tourists. 6.3, all tourism businesses stand to gain when there is an increase in foreign tourist arrival, so that it's only fair that all tourism businesses should be responsible for collecting 1% tourism levy. Remember, the tourism levy is not compulsory, so you have to present an argument why all businesses participating in the tourism industry should collect the 1% levy. So the stipulations, the law needs to be changed that each and every business must collect the 1% levy from their tourists, the tourist visiting or patronizing their businesses. So here are the motivation as to why everyone must participate in the program. So secondly, if all tourism businesses collect the 1% levy, it will increase the marketing revenue. It will increase the amount of money that SA tourism gets to market South Africa, which means South African tourism will have more money to market South Africa, therefore increase foreign tourist. 6.4, which is 6.4.1 and 6.4.2, remember from the question. And 6.41 helps them to advertise their businesses on the South African tourism platform. That is the advantage of using the SA tourism website for advertising. So this is what businesses stand to benefit. South African tourism is the country's national marketing body, and therefore advertising on their website carries credibility for the tourism businesses. So when businesses uses the platform that is created by South African tourism, it carries authenticity. It carries a truth for the tourism businesses. So people who read from the SA website would trust that this is genuine, this is credible, this is authentic advertisement, because in it has South African tourism, the brand logo, and all attributes that makes it a credible organization. Most people searching for information on South Africa will visit the official website of South Africa. So if businesses are afforded an opportunity to use the SA tourism website, then they are likely to be recognized, to be seen by many people, because many people, if they want to look what South Africa has to offer, this is their first stop. They will go to the South African website. And therefore, advertising on South African tourism website offers more guarantees that the business will get exposure. So other than the two that marks are allocated, you can further explain that South African tourism advertises South Africa and tourism businesses on many platforms. So tourism businesses are given multiple opportunities. They are given many opportunities to market their businesses. So if they are given that access to the website, it means wherever South African tourism advertises its product, whether it's WTM or ITB or the Indaba, the gate show, what the gateway, sorry, wherever they are given an opportunity to advertise. So the businesses that uses this platform will be advertised on more and many occasions than businesses that are not using the website. It will be more cost effective for tourism businesses to advertise on South African tourism. So they will save a lot of money if they use the South African tourism website more than using their own city, their own other channels to advertise. So it will be cheaper for them to advertise on this platform. 6.5, be an ambassador for South Africa, travel domestically and support local tourism businesses. Tourism is everyone's business, and this completes the task. So I'm sure from the answers you get the angle, the dimension on which to approach marketing South Africa as you do revision, as you prepare yourself for the examination. This is the style of asking question that you are confronted with now, as well as the methods or different ways to respond to the questions that are posed. Right? Similar to the previous questions, you can see this is common for us. This is also common for us, the brand marketing South Africa. And from all our deliberations, we have spoken about the well-traveled markets. We have spoken about Gateway. We talked about ITB, and we talked about Africa's top travel show. It is necessary for you to interrogate, to ask yourself questions before you could see actual questions that are asked, and make your own conclusion before you can even go to questions. So you are able to make conclusions by analyzing the text in questions before you go to the questions themselves. Let's go to the questions and start off by reading the instruction. Study South African tourism's marketing event calendar for 2018 below and answer the questions that follow. The South African tourism marketing events calendar, the 7th to the 11th of March is the Indaba Africa's Top Travel Show. The 8th to the 10th of May, meet us at ITB, the world's leading travel trade show held in Berlin from the 7th to the 11th of March. The launch of DTGS, We Do Tourism, is on the 10th of June. That is the launch of the Domestic Tourism Growth Strategy, DTGS. You must have studied this in grade 11. And on the 31st of July is International Business Meeting. All the details are given here. And on the 25th to the 26th of September is the Gateway Gauteng Show. And on the 6th to the 8th of November, it's World Travel Market that is held in London. So this is the calendar of the South African tourism marketing events in 2018. Here are the questions, not possible answers. 6.1, identify 2 international events where SA tourism markets South Africa as a destination of choice. Number 6.2, explain the purpose of the event from 23 to 25 September 2018. State 2 ways in which South African tourism markets South Africa at all the travel shows above. Right. Identify the 2 international events where tourism markets South Africa as a destination of choice. And as we refer to this question, you'll have the WTM as well as the ITB Berlin as 2 international events where South Africa is marketed as a destination of choice internationally. Explain the purpose of the event from 23 to 25 September 2018. Let us refer to the Gateway Gauteng Show. So here the event is characterized by different tourism businesses where they would market their tourism offering. And lastly, state 2 ways in which South African tourism markets South Africa at all the travel shows indicated above. It says there's 2 ways. So firstly, they are given some platform. They have a stand in the ITB Berlin where they exhibit all the tourism offerings from South Africa. And the same apply to WTM that is held in London. Also, they have a stand and they are given a platform to showcase what South Africa has to offer for international tourists. Right, let's move to another activity. The campaign below takes place in June and it's aimed at South Africans. Discuss two ways in which this campaign encourages 6.4.1 South African businesses to make a positive contribution to tourism in South Africa. 6.42 the South African public to make a positive contribution to tourism in South Africa. 6.5 explain one reason why South African tourism made this calendar available to stakeholders. And in total, this activity, it's 14 marks. 6.1 is the World Travel Market, WTM. I've already alluded to this one, as well as the ITB Berlin. So 1 mark each. And they are accepted in any order. 6.2 tourism businesses in South Africa advertise, amongst others, their outdoor products and services to domestic tourists. They showcase tourism products and services on offer in South Africa. 6.3 attractive and eye-catching display of all 9 provinces at South African tourism stands. The brochures, the DVDs, and proudly South African branded handouts, personnel manning the stands answer questions about South Africa, networking with other international role players and promoting the South African brand image to these role players, presentation on South African products and services, sharing posts to social media platforms. 6.4 and 6.41 tourism businesses are encouraged to maintain high service level, to maintain good publicity. Responsible management plans are in place to support the tourism businesses' sustainability. Tourism businesses must have sound business principles in place to ensure profitability and thus a guarantee of the business succeeding and being in operation for the future. Local must become brand ambassadors for the country and always say positive things about South Africa. Each South African should play their part in ensuring South Africa is a safe, secure, and clean and beautiful country. South Africans must act in a responsible way to showcase their pride in their country, to encourage South Africans to be responsible travelers in their own country, and also to encourage South Africans to explore their own country. 6.5 stakeholders can have time in advance to prepare and inform relevant parties of these marketing opportunities. And that's your 14 marks. So these questions are very open, wide open, and accommodates for all the answers that you may have. We know for a fact you are not going to answer word for word as the marking guideline indicates. Another activity from a different question paper, but what is being featured in all this extract? South Africa inspiring new ways. I'm sure we are into the 5th or 6th activity where we are confronted with the South African brand logo. This question says, or the instruction says, study the information taken from Tom's booklet below and answer the questions that follow. South Africa inspiring new ways. This is our brand logo. Our initiative, the Tourism Safety Initiative, that is the TSI, is a national crime prevention and victim support program for the tourism industry in South Africa. The TSI assists in removing crime in our industry and country as a whole by using combined resources with the South African police services. Promote the growth and development of the tourism sector, increase marketing budget, thereby increasing the number of tourists to South Africa. Strengthening relationship with Tourism Business Council of South Africa, that is TBCSA, offering levy collectors a 10% discount when exhibiting at local and international trade show as part of South African exhibition stand. Now, activity questions. Name the organization represented in the logo. State 6.2, state 2 ways in which tourism safety initiative will benefit tourism business. 6.3, the information, identify the following. 6.3.1, one public entity that partners with South African marketing body to grow and develop the tourism industry in South Africa. 6.32, one organization that partners with South Africa's marketing body to grow and develop the tourism industry in South Africa. Discuss two ways how the tourism business will benefit from the initiative in the article. 6.5, name the following. 6.5.1, the International Travel Trade Show in Germany where South Africa is marketed. 6.5.2, the local travel trade show in Durban. And 6.6, give two examples of e-marketing used to market South Africa as a destination of choice. So this was out of 15, and here are the answers. 6.1, South African tourism or SA tourism, that is represented on the brand logo. 6.2, addressing tourist safety in South Africa will increase the number of tourists to the country. So if crime is minimized, so the number of tourists visiting the country will increase. Change negative perceptions about the crime in South Africa and thereby increase profits of tourism businesses. 6.3.1, South African Police Service. This is a public sector organization that partners with SA Tourism to alleviate the crime. So one could use the acronym SAPS or Police Services. 6.3.2, TBCSA is the organization, the Tourism Business Council of South Africa. 6.4, the money collected from the levy is used to support and grow tourism in South Africa, strengthen the potential of tourism businesses. It offers incentive to tourism businesses. It provides viable platforms for marketing and networking opportunities for tourism businesses. That is for 4 marks. 6.5, the international organization or marketing platforms indicated in that extract. It's ITB. 6.52, it's the Indaba held in Durban. 6.6, the social media platform, television and radio broadcast. Another activity, we are also confronted with the brand logo of South Africa to increase volume of foreign arrival in South Africa, to increase awareness of South Africa as a travel destination. It says, name organization responsible for marketing South Africa internationally. Refer to the picture above and explain the meaning of South Africa brand slogan, inspiring new ways. 6.1.3, give one reason why South Africa brand logo and brand slogans are displayed so prominently, clearly as part of exhibition. The organization in question, 6.1.1, markets South Africa internationally in a variety of ways. For example, exhibition at international tourism trade shows and travel shows on radio and on television. Give 2 other examples of how the organization named in question 6.1 can increase international awareness and foreign arrival in South Africa. Explain in a paragraph how tourism levies are collected in South Africa. Your paragraph must include the following: step in the collection of levies, the role of TOMSA in the collection process, and an explanation what these levies are used for. That is for 16 marks, 6.1.1. The name of the organization is South African Tourism. That is represented by the brand logo, or SA Tourism. Do not accept SAT. I think we have a repeat of this question. 6.1.2. Constantly reinventing South Africa's tourism products and services to increase the appeal of South Africa as a tourism destination, changing the tourist perception of South Africa by including multiple opportunities and new offerings, hence encouraging repeat visits. South Africa marketing efforts show innovative and creative awareness to entice visitors to the country, develop a sense of pride among South Africans. It is part of their marketing strategy to create awareness of the brand, to ensure that the brand logo is recognizable to visitors, hence it is displayed prominently. To make South Africa more visible as an attractive tourist destination, to attract visitors to South African exhibition. 6.14, SA Tourism travels to different countries, roadshow to promote and market South Africa internationally, advertises on buses and taxis in major cities around the world, advertisements on huge billboards, add-on package for business tourists, affordable packages, advertises on printed media, online advertisement, advertises on social media, create opportunities for networking with tourism stakeholders, open publicity offices abroad. That answers 6.14. Now, in a discussion question, which is 6.2, the tourism levy is collected, a collection process. The tourism business, e.g. accommodation, car rental, tour operators, and travel agents, collect a 1% levy from tourists. The business pay levies to Tourism Business Council of South Africa, who gives it to TOMSA. The role of TOMSA in the collection process: TOMSA is the administrator of the fund. TOMSA makes the funds available to SA Tourism. And an explanation of what these levies are used for: South Africa uses the funds to market South Africa both domestically and internationally. And on that note, we have come to an end of our revision exercises. I'm sure you'll find an opportunity to go through the resources at hand and see how best you can approach the concept of marketing South Africa as a tourism destination. But I'm sure you could have realized from our discussion and from the activities that we have handled that the brand logo is featured in almost all the previous questions papers that we went through. I'm not saying you are going to come across it in the examination, but make it a point that you internalize it and you try to grab as much information as possible insofar as the brand logo is concerned. And on that note, we've come to an end. Thank you so much. All the best of luck. Thank you.